Hello, internet people. I got a question for y'all. And this is a very weird question. Coming from me, I'm a weirdo, okay? But this question is probably more weird than normal. So if it doesn't make any sense to you, skip. If it doesn't pertain to you, skip. Don't force it. You either know what I'm talking about or you don't know what I'm talking about. It's just that simple, okay? Because it's going to be a very weird question. Have you guys ever closed your eyes? Both of your eyes are completely closed, yet you're able to see. You're able to see images. This is something that I used to do a lot as a child. I still do it, as an adult. It's a little bit more distorted now. But I just remember this because it was happening to me today before I left. I was taking a nap and, my eyes are closed and I'm able to see, and the images that I see are very, very vivid. Like they're very vivid. Like I'm able to make out faces I've never seen before in my life, places I've never been to before. I know it sounds so weird, and sometimes it's very fleeting. It could be an image will appear and then disappear. Sometimes I even see lights actually, um, and they're very vivid. Like I can actually draw it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Like I could actually follow the image before it disappears. Again, when I was a kid, it wouldn't need to disappear. Like I would actually follow for hours, and as an adult now, because of vices and all kinds of shit, it's a little bit more distorted. But when I'm there still, I could actually draw the images and it will be very, very, it's like having a vision, if that makes sense. This is not necessarily the same as lucid dreaming. Like this vision that I'm talking about, it would happen when I'm awake. However, it can trigger a lucid dream, which means something totally different because I'll just continue with, my observation of the images into my dream, in which I become one with it. So you can sort of think about it as though my consciousness leaves this body and enters that realm. Now, essentially, this is what astral projection is, and this is one of the most common ways I was able to astral project as a child, into lucid dreaming. And like I've mentioned before, astral projection is not safe at all. I don't recommend it at all, and I'm sure the Bible warns against it. But I was able to do this as a child because it felt safe. It felt the safest. People astral project using different means. There are different ways people astral project, and a lot of times, unfortunately, those astral projection involve all kinds of vices, like the D word and things like that, and even sex is involved. It gets very dangerous because you can actually get stuck there. The best way to astral project, if you absolutely need to, is to do when you're sober. If you're not sober, you can get stuck there. But the good news is that you'll be okay. But I don't think most people would want to be comfortable with the idea of being stuck in a different realm. But that's a whole nother conversation, Chad. It gets very dangerous and very dark, and I believe this is why the Bible warns against it. And I do not recommend it at all. But yes, this is essentially one way to astral project, and I did that a lot when I was a child. When I was a kid, because as a child I was more still and had less distortion. When I sit with that vision for long enough, it would trigger lucid dreaming. It took me years to realize that most people don't know what lucid dreaming is. Because to me, as a child, I thought that was like common. I thought everyone knew what lucid dreaming is. And for people who don't know what lucid dreaming is when you're dreaming and you are aware that you're dreaming and you know it's not real. And as a result, you're able to manipulate the dream as you wish, literally as you wish. You can fly if you want to, you can cry if you want to, you can even shift bodies. Like you can even possess anything, you can become a rock. Even though that rock does not look like you in physical plane, but you still are able to identify your own being within that rock. And even within lucid dreaming, you can even identify with something completely abstract or completely obscure, something that you're not even able to imagine in this realm, like completely different. Now, of course, you'll be able to perceive, your mind will try to perceive it as something that it can try to compare with this realm, but it's something that you identify that does not exist in this realm. You can even identify with the color red, even though the color red is a phenomenon that we human beings we perceive in this realm. No one knows what color is at all. All of this is phenomenon, but you can actually possess and embody the actual color itself as red. You become one with it, and that becomes your identity in that dream. It's very cool. It was very fun for me and very cool when I was a child. But then I was a weirdo. Still am, Chad. You can identify as the entire dream itself, and you're able to wake up whenever you want to, literally whenever. So it took me a while to realize that not everybody knows what lucid dreaming is. Hence why I'm thinking there's a possibility that not everyone knows what I'm talking about. And it says that your eyes are closed, but you're still able to have vivid visions. Visions that are this is not just your imagination. They're very vivid. You can even see light. And you see things and people that you've never seen before and places you've never been to before. Please answer. Uche, peace and love.